Hey y'all, welcome back to the ranch. I'm Jared Paul and happy Easter. I'm pruning on this beautiful spring day. And next up are the black locusts. I have a few plantings. I'll show you one I already pruned up. Why I love black locusts are these crazy gnarly roots and wild bends, and they have a great texture to the trunk, even in these young trees, 5 to 6 years old, from seed. So if you are in a cold location and you want to grow a tropical looking tree but not deal with an indoor year-round tree, the black locust is the one for you. They're very easy to grow from seed. You just got to scar them up, shake them in like a mason jar that's lined with sandpaper. It'll scar them up nice, germinate them very easily, and they grow like wild. They're a lot of fun. You get to prune them very often. So for a beginner, which I was 6 years ago, I'll stop saying 5-6 years, it was 6 years ago, that they were very rewarding early on. Very active growers, lots of attention needed, so a lot of learning, a lot of fun. With that being said, it's Easter and it's time for some black locust pruning. That's what's coming up on today's episode of Jarhead Bonsai. All right, so you see this guy has grown nice and tall. These things have crazy thorns, so I should mention that. They're late bloomers and they're the first to lose their leaves, so anyways, we got some crazy branches growing across, so I'll just take those out entirely. You know what? Let me go ahead and bring back the canopy. Some of this growth is just like, it's just so hardy and thick too early on. It's got a nice canopy, but I'm bringing it back hard this year. It's got a nice little turn to it there, so I'm not hating that. I'll just take this one out, pretty much all the way down. There's got to be a better system than me laying them on my lap with the thorns. Jared. So this one here I don't like, but the one just below it, it's grown at a cool angle, so I'm gonna let that happen. Around here, this whole thing has, this whole big branch here has a nice little one coming out the base of it, and I don't like the big branch. It's already too thick and going straight up, so boom boom. Yeah, this is kind of a straight shot until it divides here, so I don't even like that. So I'm going to come back to the original cut, and if we don't get anything out of it, I'm fine with having that, the start of the trunk line, even moved higher and taking this whole branch out. Well, it's alive, so it should bud back. Got this branch coming out. It's relatively new and I don't like it at all. If we're gonna have any branch development in here, I want it to come off of the main trunk branches I already have established, or this guy here. So I'll leave some room for this to kick off a couple of branches and we'll see from there. That back a little bit. This might become the new apex. I might choose this one and then take this straight shot out. I guess we'll see. Another little one in here. I don't like, that broke off nicely. I don't like anything growing in around the established branch already, because I want to show off that aged trunk there, so I don't want any growth in there. So that's why I just removed that whole thing. Over here, this branch here is really thick, and so is this one as well. This is a nicer branch down here, so I'm going to take the main trunk out. It's nice, it's outward facing, it kind of goes in a knot parallel to the deck, but horizontal fashion, and then it comes back and it comes back around, so that's nice. I'm just going to nip the tip and let that one grow in. Yeah, this is almost the perfect, it's pretty perfect, and I could tell it's got a nice age to it, and it's not that thick, so it's not too strong of a branch. That's an old branch there. This is newer, and it's almost the same thickness, so I like that one. I'm going to keep that one, and I'm just going to take back these two branches coming out of it. Leave about an inch each side. Little one growing at the base here. Cool. Then I'm going to take this one out. It's growing out of the crotch of this nice branch, so I don't want it bulging. I don't want it getting bigger faster than the trunk, so we are taking it out. I'm pleased with that one. Cool. Thinking this bad boy's done. This branch here is nice. Why don't I just take this one here down to there? Yeah. I like having those branch options. Has a nice balance to it. It's not just a straight shot up and then a canopy on one level. It's a multi-level deal. Picking the front, I guess this would be my front. Set these to the side. I want to just chuck them into the yard because I'll be barefoot. All right. All right, so there you have it. Nice age to the trunk. No surface roots with this one, but an attractive tree. I like it. All right, and on to the next one. Here we go. So clearly this thing grew very strong last year. It looked epic. I don't know, if you go back in the playlist, you'll be able to see these when they're actually leafed out. They have tiny little petals out in like a fern-like type of leaf, but round petals, really cool. All right, so this thing's just taking over, and right here is a really nice looking other branch. I'm just taking the whole thing out, going way down, and if it does bud out, hopefully most of the energy will be going to this branch that I'm not going to take as much out of, and they can even out. Then it'll match. If not, I'll just take the whole thing out next year. Bruce, you're right in my pile spot, buddy. So I'm going to take this down to, we'll go here. Yep, live tissue there. Some of the ends died off towards the end of the season and over winter. I think that's their norm, and then they kind of break off with the wind, and that's how they divide naturally in nature. Go back to the original cut. couple of little branches here. If they are alive, we'll see what they do. This thing's definitely dead here. So why don't we pop, boom, boom. It's debatable whether that is alive or not. Don't know. I guess we shall see. One thing I do know is these things can take a beating, and when you think that they're dead, they will come back. They are strong. I've gotten spider mites, scale, and what else happens to them? I don't know, but they keep coming back. Oh yeah, I was going to lead into the story about the last one we're doing, and that's this guy right here. Look at that trunk. So this thing, no kidding, was in a seed pack and kind of came out of it when it just sprouted up as a seedling. And it fell into a pot that had an avocado growing from seed. Well, since then that avocado died off, and it was a hardy avocado. But this thing literally floated around in the pot every single time I watered it. Like, it wasn't big enough to plant. It was just nothing. It had like the tiniest one little root. And I was afraid if I planted that deep that it would, you know, kind of rot that little trunk and it would just die off. So I'm like, what will be will be. And then it rooted itself that year. And since then, it's just like a crazy survivor. So definitely my favorite one. I think it killed the avocado, probably. It took over. I dig it. So we're going to give that a quick nip. Actually, you know what? There's no sense in even moving it. Quick nipping. All green. Hell yeah. Interior one. No and no. Old dead growth. Get out of here. Take more of you off. You know what? Right next to that is an active new bud, so I'm going to leave it. See that little guy right there? That little branch right there. Yeah, we'll leave that spot. All right, so I'm just infatuated with that base there, that little root going in, the sway at the beginning. And I love this tree, so I'm glad we ended on that one. So that's going to do it for today's episode of Jarhead Bonsai, y'all, on the Black Locust. Highly recommended for beginners, or if you just don't have it in your collection, it'll grow fast. It'll be a lot of fun. So happy Easter, y'all. And for my family, yours, cheers.